Honorable Wakida, do you see Anita Mong returning to Parliament to sit on the same bench with Rebecca Kadaga, Parsis Namganza? Some powers shifted so much in the last 2 weeks. So much enmity has been created. What do you think is going to be the fate of Among?
Let me first say something about what Honorable Nakut just mentioned. The parliament that you see is an institution. That institution has got its structure. You have the speakers, the overall manager, but you have an accounting officer of that parliament who is the clerk. And below the clerk, there are commissioners who are supposed to support the running of that institution. The biggest challenge outside here is that the whole institution has been portrayed as corrupt. I want to go specific to a budget, because that's what I understand very well. National budgets are drawn by different departments of government, including the budget for parliament. It's developed by the commissioners and brought for approval. The national budget is approved by the parliament as well. Most importantly, it is signed by the president for it to be functional. I don't want to blame anybody for making their budgets in their offices to anybody without faulting people who would have put a stop to it. Because doing that would imply that the speaker as an individual had so much power to the extent of forcing all of the MPs to approve that budget and also the president to sign it. Because the president must scrutinize that budget. And until when he has put his signature, it's not a national budget. That's the question. When we were in Entebbe recently, this is what I observed. Most people expected the president to talk about corruption in parliament. But let me tell you what he did. They printed an article written by Dr. Ian Clark. And he distributed it to us to read. In that article, there was so less about corruption and so much about lifestyle. Sure. When you meet, you know, how do you behave? How do you project yourself among poor people? How do you project yourself? You're dressed very well. You are a public officer, putting on a suit amongst people who are putting on, you know, better clothes, or who are very poor. That's what about that article was about. Now, it could be that the former management of parliament showed a lot of excitement on what they had. And to a politician who is looking at continuity, is looking at how are the people perceiving this kind of behavior. I am looking forward to seeing the extent to which corruption in parliament can be unearthed, if any, and who will be responsible for that. I'm looking forward to that.
Looking out to that too.
Because you see, this institution has got processes. You have a director of finance. You have a clerk of parliament. You have commissioners. You have speaker. All those manage the resources of parliament, including recruitment. Now, like Honorable Nakuti has said, the behavior of recruiting relative in parliament did not start yesterday. I know for sure that the former PS of parliament was from a certain tribe where the speaker was coming from. Did you know that? That a number of people who were there were actually coming from the same region. Yeah, sure. Do your analysis and see. Now, the time when Anita took over power, there was friction. That friction did not stop. The friction between Anita group and that of the Honorable Kadaga hasn't stopped in Parliament. For the first time since Anita assumed office, I saw Honorable Kadaga sit in Parliament 2 days ago. You remember, Paul? We sat with her. That tells you the bitterness that has existed. If you look at it that way, then you see there has been contradictions among the two different groups. Now, what was your question?
My question is, do you see the way Kadaga returned to Parliament for the very first time in many years? Do you see a Mong returning to Parliament?
One is that before she became a speaker or even a member of SEC,
She was an MP.
she's an MP for Bukedea district. I would expect her to come and sit. These are offices you get after you've already achieved the first office of a member of parliament. That is important for her to know if she's listening to this. She should come and represent her people.
Those are your expectations, the reality, the atmosphere in Parliament today.
By the way, let me tell you, one of the most popular person amongst members of parliament, as of the time I was in Chankwanzi, not long time ago, to 15th April, was Anita. Anita's fortune changed
2 weeks ago.
around from the 10th of May. The 10th of May, 11th, and by 12th, the posting by different groups on the social media started to attract negativity around her. But I still believe she has a big following in Parliament. Anita embodies a certain character of a social being. She creates a relationship where it is hard to create one. Don't think that Anita is hated in that Parliament. It will be wrong.
Well, maybe not hated, but that her relationships were transactional, facilitated by money and power. And now that the two have been cut off, it will be very hard to return to her former
It is
self.
time for her to check that. Among his friends, you'll find people who come to you because of expectation. But there are people you stay with, even during the hardest time. One thing I wanted to make a point here is that there has been a lot of fear amongst people. And this is the fear. That people who are close to Anita are victims. If you go into parliament, you have that feeling. But here is the point. SEC had a resolution. That resolution was laid bare to the members. Support Anita. Yes, in writing. Support Anita and who? And Taiwa. Many people want to associate with power. That's the truth. They want to come closer to those who are powerful. So you are going to find many people started to come to Honorable Taiwa, Honorable Anita, going to her home, making relationship, because that is what the party had directed. The president came to us in Chankwanzi, and this is what he said. For us as a party and SEC, we endorsed so and so. We shall come to you and support our position. Now, everybody saw that that is the candidate of. And in fact, some of us started saying, okay, I think that's the right candidate. Supported the right candidate.
You also saw early endorsements
Yes.
through videos.
No, the endorsement was not, even PLU, about the 15th of March, supported in writing. The Secretary General of the party of NRM read the resolution of SEC and called on all the members of NRM to support Taebwa and Honorable Anita. Now, let me tell you, when you have been endorsed, you begin to have a strategy to win. You cannot take the endorsement for granted. So these people, the Taebwas, the Anitas, started creating a working team to make sure they win. Are you going to wake up and say, you guys who are supporting this person, you're wrong, when you are the one who gave them a direction? So will Anita fit within the parliament? She will definitely. Who knew that after this contradiction during the election of SEC in Entebbe, that you would see again Kadaga seated in the same house on the same row with the rest of the people? I think she should eat, swallow her pie and know that power is lent. It's given to you today. It can be taken away.
All right.
And sit down.